we eat, we also identified food items eaten in different parts of India and marked this on its map. As we studied in chapter 1 about the food and why do we need food, and we have selected some food items eaten in the different parts of India and its location on its map. A meal could consist of chapati, dal, and brinjal curry. As we know, in our meal there can be so much varieties, just like chapati, dal, curry, ghee. Another may be rice, sambar, and some vegetable like lady finger. Yet another meal could be fish curry and vegetable, and other can be fish curry and vegetables. So a meal consists of various kinds of foods, just like chapati, just like rice, just like vegetable, like bhindi. And another meal could be fish curry and vegetable. So there can be many kinds of foods eaten in different parts of the country, and it can be vegetarian or it can be non-vegetarian. So we have studied in chapter 1 about the food, why do we need food, and we have selected some food items in a different parts of India, and we have located these food items in on the map. As we know, we eat different kinds of food, so a meal can be consist of chapati, can be curry, and can be vegetable, and can be fish curry, and these food can be vegetarian or this food can be non-vegetarian. Next is activity 1. Our meals usually have at least one item made of some kind of grain. Other item could be of dal or a fish of meat and vegetable. As we know, our meals contains various kinds of food. Our meals usually have at least one item made up of some kind of grain. As we know, we eat chapati in our food. So chapati is common in every food. Other item could be of dal, and second item can be dal, can be meat, can be vegetable. If we eat vegetarian, if we are vegetarian, then we eat dal, and if we are non-vegetarian, then we eat a dish of meat and vegetable. It may also include items like curd, buttermilk, and pickles, and we can take curd in our food depending on the situation, and we can add buttermilk and pickles. Some example of meals from different regions are given in the table 2.1. In different parts of the India, we eat different kinds of food, and there is a variety of foods eaten in different parts of the India. And some foods selected are and famous in different in a specific state. Suppose in Punjab, sarson saag is a very famous vegetable of the Punjab. In Andhra Pradesh, there is some famous rice. Add some more meals to this list and enter these in table 2.1. See the table 2.1. In Punjab, we ate a type of grain is makki roti, and vegetable is sarson saag. And different item can be rajma, and others can be curd and ghee. In Andhra Pradesh, famous is rice, and additional can be dal and charu. Or other additional food can be buttermilk, ghee, pickle, etc. So we eat different kinds of food in different parts of the different region of the India, and some food are famous in specific state of India. Suppose in Punjab, makki and sarson saag is famous, and in Andhra Pradesh, rice and dal is famous. Sometimes we may not really have all these variety in our meals. And if we are traveling, we may eat whatever is available on the way. As we know, we have sometimes variety of food is not available. If we are traveling, we may eat whatever is available on the way. Suppose we are traveling in a bus, then there cannot be possibility of variety of food, so we have to eat whatever possible, whatever available on the way. It may not be possible for some of us to eat such a variety of food most of the time. There must be some reason to why meals usually consist of such a distribution. Do you think that our body needs different Kinds of food for specific purpose, yes. We need different kinds of food for different purposes, because we need carbohydrate, and we need fat, and we need protein, and we need dietary fiber. So these are the components of food, and we get it from the variety of food. So variety of food is necessary for the specific purposes of the body. As we know, in chapter 1, we have studied about the food items that we eat, and we locate these food item on the map, as studied in the chapter 1. As we know, we eat different kinds of food, and there is a variety of foods we eat. And in our meal, there must be a rice, sambar, another maybe a rice, sambar, and vegetable, and there may be fish curry and vegetable. So our food can be vegetarian or non-vegetarian. If we are vegetarian, then we eat lady finger, and if we are non-vegetarian, then we can eat fish curry. So our food contains different kinds of a different variety of food. In activity 1, we have given table 2.1. Some specific states are given, Punjab and Andhra Pradesh, and some specific food which are famous in Punjab are given in the table 2.1. In activity 1, our meals usually have at least one item made some kind of grain. As we know, when we eat meal, so one item should be of grain, and this can be of makkah, and this can be of other material and rice. Other items could be dal. If we are vegetarian, then we can eat dal, and if we are non-vegetarian, we have a dish of meat and vegetable. And it also include curd, and it also include the buttermilk and the pickles. Some examples of meals are different. Reason are shown in the table 2.1. So we have such variety of foods, and these variety of foods are very necessary for the body functions. Sometimes we may not really have all this variety in our meals. If we are traveling, then variety of food cannot be available for us. So we have to eat whatever available on the way. So there must be some reason to why meals usually consist of such a distribution. Do you think our body needs different kinds of food? A question arises: our body needs different kinds of food or same kind of food? We need different kinds of food because of specific purposes in the body, and which we studied earlier. What do different food item contain? We know that each dish is usually made up of one or more ingredients which get from the plants or animals. These ingredients contain some components that are needed by our body. These components are called nutrients. As we know that each dish is usually made up of one or two more ingredients. And what are ingredients? Material used to make a particular dish are called ingredients. Suppose for boiled rice, rice and water are their ingredients. And for suppose for curry, besan and ghee and spices are their ingredients. And we get ingredients from plants or animals. We get we get the cereals and these dals and from the plants, and we get ghee are obtained from the animals. So we get all these food obtained from the plants or animals. These ingredients contain some components that are needed by our body, and these are called nutrients. So what are nutrients? The component of food that are needed by our body are called nutrients. Because in our food there are there is some special substance that are needed by our body, and these components are called nutrients. The chemical substance that are present in our food that are essential for our body are called nutrients. We can note down this definition in the notebook. What are nutrients? The chemical substance present in our body, the chemical substance present in our food that are essential for our body are called nutrients. The chemical substance present in our food that are essential for our body are called nutrients. And what are nutrients? Number one is carbohydrates, second one is proteins, third one is fat, and fourth one is vitamins, and fifth one is minerals. And main components are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. In addition, there is two components extra, dietary fiber and water. So first major nutrient is carbohydrates, second one is protein, and third one is fat, fourth one is vitamins and minerals, and fifth one is dietary fiber and water. Do all food contain all these nutrients? As we know, all food doesn't contain all these nutrients. With some simple method, we can test whether cooked food for a raw ingredients contain one or more nutrient. We can check in some food item that it contains protein or carbohydrates or fats and vitamins. Suppose in dal, we have a protein. So we can check it by the laboratory test whether it have protein and whether it have carbohydrates or fat or minerals or dietary fiber or water. The test for presence of carbohydrate, protein, and fats are simpler to do compared to the test for these nutrients. We can test carbohydrate as well as protein and fat and dietary fiber and water. But the presence of carbohydrate, protein, and fat tests are simpler as compared to the test for other nutrients just like dietary fiber and water. So test of carbohydrate, protein, and fats are very simpler as compared to dietary fiber and water. For carrying out these tasks, you will need solution of iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda, which are available in our laboratory. So we need three type of solution. First is iodine, and second is copper sulfate, and fourth one is caustic soda. The color of copper sulfate is blue color. You will also need a few test tube and a dropper. For this experiment, we require some test tube and one dropper. We can test carbohydrate as well as protein and fats. But the test of dietary fiber and mineral and vitamins are very complicated as compared to carbohydrate test of protein and carbohydrates and fat. As we discussed earlier, what do we mean by food? And we need different kinds of food for the specific purposes. And we obtain these food from the plant as well as from the animal. And what are nutrients? The chemical substance present in our food that are very essential for our body are called nutrients. And example of nutrients are number one is carbohydrate, number two is fat, number three is protein, number four is vitamins and minerals, number five is dietary fiber and water. Also, all the foods contain doesn't contain all these nutrients. We can test whether a material have carbohydrate or protein or fat. Suppose some food item is given. Suppose we have a potato. So these contains only carbohydrates. So we can test by the simple method. So the test of protein, carbohydrate, and fat is very simple as compared to test of vitamin, mineral, and dietary fiber and water. For carrying out these tasks, you will need solution of iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda. So you have for carrying these tests, we need solutions of iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda. We will also need a test tube and some dropper. Try these tests on the cooked food item as well as raw material. Table 2.2 shows you a way to record the observation from this task. Some food items are given in the table. You can conduct the test either with these or any other available food item. Do these tests carefully and do not try to eat or taste any chemicals. Try these tests on cooked food item as well as view raw material. For these tests, we require three types of solution. First is iodine, second is copper sulfate, and third is caustic soda. And the formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4 and the formula of caustic soda is NaOH. Again, I am repeating, the formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4 and the formula of caustic soda is NaOH. You will also need a few test tube and a dropper. For these testing, we have required some test tube and we required a dropper. Try these tests on the cooked food item as well as raw material. We can test on a cooked food item, and can we test these tests we can apply on the raw as well as cooked food item as well as on raw materials. Table 2.2 shows you a way to record the observation from this task. Some food items are given in this table. We can conduct the test either with these or any other available food item. Do these tests carefully and do not try to eat or taste any chemicals. When we are doing this experiment, we don't try to eat any raw material or cooked material, and we don't have to taste any chemicals because these chemicals can be harmful. So don't taste this chemical or don't eat this raw material or cooked food item. And observe from the test and record this observation in the table. Some food items are given in this table. If the required solution are not available in the ready-made form, for carrying out these tasks, solution can be prepared and can be available in the ready-made form. If it are available not available in ready-made form, we can make with the help of water and the salt. Let us begin by testing different food items to see if they contain carbohydrates. There are many types of carbohydrates. The main carbohydrates found in a food are in the form of starch and sugar. So we have first nutrient is carbohydrates. So there are the main carbohydrates are on for our food is starch and sugar. We can easily test if a food item contains starch. So if we have a potato, we can check whether it contains starch or not. So for suppose what are nutrients? The chemical substance present in our food that are essential for our body are called nutrients. And what are their types? First one is carbohydrate, and second is protein, and third one is fat, and fourth one is dietary fiber and water, and is vitamins and minerals. So we have to test whether it contains carbohydrate, protein, or fat. So for carrying out these tests, we require three types of solution. First one is iodine and copper sulfate and caustic soda. It can be available in the laboratory, or it can be also prepared with the help of salt and water. And for first nutrient is carbohydrate. So there are many types of carbohydrate. Mainly two types of carbohydrate is starch and sugar. So we can test whether a substance contains starch or not. So firstly, we will study about how can we make a solution of iodine, copper sulfate, and we have three solutions for iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda. So we can make a solution of iodine, copper sulfate, and caustic soda and can be used in the ready-made form. First is a dilute solution of iodine can be prepared by adding a few drops of denatured iodine to a test tube half filled with water. Take a test tube and firstly add a few drops of denatured iodine and add some water into it. Then iodine solution can be prepared. So firstly, we require some one test tube and add few drops of denatured iodine and add some water into it. Then a dilute solution of iodine can be prepared. For making of copper sulfate solution, we require 2 gram of copper sulfate and 100 milliliter of water. So for in a beaker, we add 2 gram copper sulfate and add in 100 milliliter of water. So then we can prepare copper sulfate solution. And how can we prepare a caustic soda solution? We require 10 kilogram of caustic soda and add it into 100 milliliter of water. Then we can make solution of caustic soda. And what is the formula of copper sulfate? CuSO4. And what is the formula of caustic soda? NaOH. Formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4 and formula of caustic soda is NaOH. How can we prepare solution of iodine and copper sulfate and caustic soda? First step for making solution of iodine. Firstly, we require a few drops of denatured iodine and water. Firstly, we'll take few drops of denatured iodine and add into the test tube half filled with water. Firstly, we will take test tube and filled with water, half filled with water, and add few drops of denatured iodine, then a dilute solution of iodine. What do you mean by dilute solution? When water is added to any solution, then it makes the solution dilute. When water is added to any solution, it makes the solution dilute. Then how can we prepare copper sulfate solution? We can add 2 gram of copper sulfate in 100 milliliter of water. Firstly, we will take a beaker and add 100 milliliter of water and dissolve 2 gram of copper sulfate, and color of the copper sulfate is blue color. Next one is, how can we prepare solution of caustic soda? Take 100 milliliter of water and add 10 gram of caustic soda, dissolve in 100 milliliter of water. Then the solution of caustic soda is prepared. And what is the formula of caustic soda? NaOH. Take some water in the beaker and adds 10 gram of caustic soda. Then solution of caustic soda is prepared. Next, activity 2. And what is the activity 2? How can we test starch item? Item is given, suppose potato is given and can be tomato is given. Then how can we check whether it contains starch or not? And what do we mean by starch? And this is the type of carbohydrates. First nutrient is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are available in the form of starch and sugar. Sugar already we know. And the second one is starch. How can we test whether a substance contains starch or not? Firstly, will have to take a small quantity of food item or a raw ingredient. We can test a cooked food item or it can be a raw ingredient. And second step is put 2 to 3 drops of dilute solution on it, figure 2.1. As shown in the figure 2.1, one girl and one boy is doing an experiment using iodine, and raw potato is taken, and we have to cut one slice of potato in figure 2.1, and one dropper is used, and add some iodine in a dropper and put it into the cut potato, and whether it turns blue black or not. If it turns into blue black, then potato contains starch. If it doesn't turn into blue black, then it doesn't contain starch. So how can we check starch in a given food item? Firstly, you have to take a raw ingredients just like a potato as shown in the figure 2.1. Firstly, you have to take a raw potato and cut it into 2 parts or 3 parts and put it into a plate and add few drops of iodine in a dropper and put it in on the potato. Then it turns into blue black. If it turns into blue black, then it contains starch. If it doesn't turn into blue black, then it does not contain starch. We can test starch in any food item, just like in potato or tomato or any vegetable. We can test for starch. So for the test of starch, we have to taken first solution is iodine and any food item. First step is take any food item just like a potato and and cut into slices and put on the plate and add some few drop of iodine on the cup on the potato, and if it turns into the blue black, then it contains starch. If it does not turn into blue black, then this does not contain starch. A blue black color indicates that it contains starch. Repeat this item with a different food item to find out with either contains starch or not. We can test for starch in any food item, just like potato, and add this observation in activity table 2.2. Suppose in raw potato we have contains starch. We can test for milk. Take some milk in a beaker and add some and add some iodine solution. If milk turns into blue black, then it contains starch. And if this milk does not turn into blue black, then it does not contain starch. And we can test in groundnut and uncooked powder rice, cooked rice, and dry coconut, and cooked dal, and slice of any vegetable, a slice of any fruit, and boiled egg. We can test these food items for whether it contains starch or not. For these tests, we require iodine solution. Firstly, we take these food item and put on the in the plate and add few drops of iodine solution. If it turns into blue black, then these items contain starch, and if does not contain, it turns into blue black, then it doesn't contain starch. And these can test be this can test be for given food item just like milk, cooked rice, and cooked dal. Next up is task for protein. First component of nutrient is carbohydrate. Second is protein. For the test of protein, we require two solutions. First solution is copper sulfate, and second solution is caustic soda. We require two solutions. First one is copper sulfate, and second solution is caustic soda. For the test of protein, we require some given food item, whether it contains protein or not. Suppose we have a dal. This is solid. So firstly, you have to need to make a paste of it or a powder it. So suppose we take a dal and we powder it with the help of mortar and pestle. Mortar and pestle is the instrument for pasting and powdering the material, and it is available in our chemistry lab. Grind or mash a small quantity of the food item. Put some of these on a clean glass tube and add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. As shown in the figure 2.2, a boy is testing for the protein in a given food item. And there are two types of solution. First one is copper sulfate and second one is caustic soda. And the formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4 and the formula of caustic soda is NaOH. And he is using a test tube, and he's using test tube and dropper. And firstly, he'll take some food item for testing. Suppose he's taking dal, and firstly he grind it, or he make a paste of it and powder it, and grind or mash a small quantity of the food item. Then put some of these in the clean test tube. He's adding test dal in the test tube, and he add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. And now using the dropper, add some two drops of solution of copper sulfate and 10 drops of solution of caustic soda. Then the solution shake well and let the test tube stand for a few minutes. What will you see? It turns into violet color. If violet color occurs, then it contains protein. If doesn't occur in the solution, then it doesn't contain protein. First, we have studied about test for starch. Second, we have studied about test for protein. For test of protein, we require two types of solution. First one is copper sulfate and second one is caustic soda. And the formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4 and formula of caustic soda is NaOH. And we will take a test tube and a dropper. Firstly, we will take some food item for testing. Suppose we have dal for testing for the protein, and for dal, we will make a powder of it with the help of mortar and pestle. And this mortar and pestle instrument is available in the laboratory. And put some of these in a clean test tube and 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. Next one is now using a dropper, and these grind dal is taken in the test tube and adds 10 drops of water for making paste of dal, and then add 2 drops of solution of copper sulfate, and then add 10 drops of solution of 10 drops of solution of caustic soda. If it turns into the violet color, then it contains protein. If does not turn into the violet color, then it doesn't contain protein. So how can we test for protein? Firstly, you have to take a small quantity of food item. Suppose we are taking dal, and firstly grind it with the help of mortar and pestle, and these grinding dal is put up into the test tube as shown in the figure 2.1, and add some 10 drops of water in the grinding dal such that paste of dal can be prepared, and then add some then add 10 drops of water to each and shake the test tube such that paste of dal can be easily prepared. And then using a dropper, add 10 drops of solution of copper sulfate as shown in the figure on second number, and add 10 drops of caustic soda as shown in the figure 2.2 on first place, and shake it well. If